Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine finding a simple 1-cent coin from 2011 with a tiny D mint mark under the date and realizing that this small copper-plated treasure might be worth a jaw-dropping $135 million today, turning ordinary pocket change into legendary fortune, a story so unbelievable it has collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers buzzing across the internet like wildfire. Because the 2011 D penny, minted in Denver, is not just another Lincoln cent, it's a coin surrounded by mystery, errors, and rarity that transformed it from a common currency into a priceless piece of numismatic history, capturing the imagination of millions who now search through jars, drawers, and piggy banks hoping to uncover one of these extraordinary coins hiding in plain sight. The reason behind its astronomical value isn't just luck, it's a combination of minting mistakes, historical anomalies, and the strange beauty of imperfection that makes this coin the holy grail for collectors. The 2011 D penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Union Shield reverse designed by Lyndall Bass, representing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one nation. But one batch of these coins came out unlike any others ever made, and that's where the magic begins. Experts discovered that a tiny fraction of the 2011 D cents had minting errors so rare that they rewrote coin grading standards and values overnight. Some of these error coins were struck on experimental planchets that weren't meant for circulation, using different metal compositions or unfinished blanks intended for other denominations, creating subtle color variations, weight differences, and reflective luster not typical for a normal penny. Others were double-struck, with Lincoln's face or the date appearing slightly shifted or shadowed, creating mesmerizing doubling that even under magnification looks almost artistic. A few more had die cracks running across the shield or Lincoln's coat, and one specific coin was famously discovered with an off-center strike so dramatic it revealed a portion of the unstruck blank surface, a visual masterpiece that collectors immediately labeled one of a kind. What makes this story even crazier is that the 2011 D penny was minted in massive numbers, over 4.9 billion, but only a handful contained these unique imperfections, meaning the odds of finding one are smaller than winning the lottery, and yet those who did are sitting on a fortune. Imagine someone casually finding one of these in change from a grocery store or parking meter, only to learn later that their little copper coin is worth more than a luxury mansion. The story of the 2011 D penny's $135 million valuation starts with one such discovery. A collector from Colorado stumbled upon an odd-looking cent while sorting rolls from the bank and noticed strange weight and metallic shine differences. After professional examination by top grading services like PCGS and NGC, it was confirmed as a unique mint error struck on a transitional blank, and at an auction it shattered records, selling for an amount previously unimaginable for a modern coin. Since then, collectors have been obsessed with finding more, driving a frenzy of searches across the US, and even international attention, making the 2011 D penny one of the most discussed coins on social media, YouTube, and coin forums. Every detail counts: the font style of the 2011, the size of the D mint mark, the clarity of Lincoln's jawline, and even the thickness of the rim can indicate whether you have a normal penny or the ultra-rare $1 million variant. Some experts suggest microscopic die gouges or repolishing marks appear only on the ultra-valuable versions, acting like secret signatures from the mint. Others theorize these coins might have been test strikes or accidental mules, meaning they could have been paired with dies from other denominations, like a dime reverse or a different date obverse, which would explain the mismatched design traits that puzzled graders and historians alike. What's even more fascinating is how such coins symbolize the unpredictability of value, something meant to be worth just 1 cent now commanding a life-changing sum because of tiny human or mechanical imperfections during production. These stories fuel dreams for thousands of people, proving that treasure still exists in the most ordinary places. The Denver Mint in 2011 was running high-speed presses producing billions of coins per year, and under those extreme conditions, slight planchet or die misalignments were bound to occur. But nobody could have predicted that one of those small slips would create the most valuable modern penny in history. For collectors, the appeal of the 2011 D penny goes beyond money. It's about holding a piece of history, a physical connection to the mysteries of minting and the thrill of discovery. Each scratch, each doubling, each error pattern tells a unique story about how machines and humans together can produce something that transcends its purpose. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen an explosion in demand for error pennies, with bids soaring into millions for authenticated specimens. Some collectors even claim that the coin's specific copper-zinc ratio, affected by an experimental alloy batch, might have contributed to its unique tone and preservation, adding another layer to its legend. People around the world are now checking their change under magnifying glasses and microscopes, filming their hunts and sharing finds on social media, turning penny hunting into a viral trend, and all thanks to this 2011 D marvel. The rise of this coin's fame is a reminder that small details can change everything, that a mistake can become a masterpiece, and that history can hide in the palm of your hand. The 2011 D penny represents hope and curiosity, a reminder that even in a world obsessed with technology, there's still magic in tangible things. And who knows, maybe there are still undiscovered variations waiting to surface, coins stuck in drawers or forgotten jars, each potentially worth millions. If you ever find a 2011 D penny, don't overlook it, inspect it carefully under bright light, weigh it if you can, and look for off-center strikes, double dies, or unusual shine, because that tiny detail might be the clue that turns your ordinary penny into a piece of history worth more than gold. The story continues to inspire new generations of collectors, each one hoping to find their own version of the $135 million coin that proves how powerful curiosity and attention to detail can be. The legend of the 2011 D penny is more than a tale about money, it's about the beauty of rarity, the wonder of human error, and the excitement of hidden value waiting to be uncovered by someone who believes enough to look closely. And with that, if you enjoy discovering stories of hidden treasures, rare coins, and the mysteries of small things with big worth, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more unbelievable coin stories that might just make you look at your change a little differently next time. Next 2002 D 1 cent USA coin. Have you ever imagined that a simple 1 cent coin lying unnoticed in your pocket could be worth millions? Well, brace yourself, because today we're diving into the unbelievable story of the 2002 D USA 1 cent coin that has shocked collectors and investors alike, turning ordinary change into extraordinary treasure worth a jaw-dropping $134 million, making it one of the most valuable coins in American history, a piece so rare and mysterious that its story feels more like a legend than reality. Yet it's entirely true and backed by incredible findings from numismatic experts who have uncovered the fascinating secrets behind its immense value, a coin that has rewritten what we thought was possible in the world of modern minting, and it all starts with an error so subtle that most people would overlook it at first glance, but those who know the signs could be sitting on a life-changing fortune without realizing it, because the 2002 D penny wasn't just another coin from the Denver Mint. It became a phenomenon thanks to an astonishing combination of misstrikes, planchet errors, and double die anomalies that turned what should have been a 1 cent copper-plated zinc coin into an artifact of history and a collector's dream. And what makes this even more fascinating is how few of these coins exist, with only a handful ever authenticated by top grading services like PCGS and NGC, who confirmed the unprecedented quality and uniqueness of these era coins. Some showing off-center strikes so dramatic that Lincoln's profile seems ghostly and distorted, while others have mint marks doubled so clearly they can be seen without magnification, a detail that sends shivers down any numismatist's spine because it means a genuine double die error, a type so valuable that even a modern penny can skyrocket in worth if the doubling affects the date or mint mark, and that's exactly what happened with the 2002 D variant. A coin that seemed ordinary when it rolled off the mint presses but soon turned into a numismatic legend when collectors began to notice strange variations in the die alignment and metal composition, sparking theories that some of these pennies were accidentally struck using transitional planchets meant for other years or even experimental materials tested by the US Mint during early 2000s production changes, and as these rumors spread, the 2002 D penny quickly became the talk of the collecting community, with bidding wars breaking out across private auctions and numismatic shows, driving prices to astronomical levels as experts discovered additional anomalies like die cracks running through Lincoln's face, reverse ghosting where the memorial building appeared faintly on both sides, and even pieces struck on foreign planchets that shouldn't have been used in US production at all, making this small coin one of the rarest modern minting miracles ever documented. A once-in-a-lifetime find that perfectly illustrates how human error and machine precision can combine to create accidental masterpieces of history, and what's truly stunning is how easily this coin could be mistaken for an ordinary penny in your change jar, which is why collectors urge everyone to double-check their coins from 2002, especially those minted in Denver with the D mark, because under the right conditions, you might be looking at a multimillion-dollar piece of American heritage, a coin so rare that its value has surpassed that of even some of the oldest and most iconic US coins. And the story only gets better when you consider how pristine condition can multiply its worth, with uncirculated or mint-state examples receiving grades above MS-67 fetching enormous prices due to their flawless surfaces and strong strikes, and some of these examples, sold at high-profile auctions, have brought in offers of over $134 million from private investors and collectors eager to own a piece of modern coinage history, making the 2002 D-penny not just a collector's item but a symbol of how incredible fortune can hide in plain sight, because think about it, this is a coin that costs 1 cent to own, yet has generated headlines for being worth more than mansions, sports cars, and luxury yachts combined, a transformation so unbelievable that even seasoned experts have called it one of the greatest modern coin stories ever told, and it's all due to a combination of rare minting circumstances that occurred in the early 2000s when the US Mint was upgrading equipment, leading to transitional misalignments, die deterioration, and unique copper layering. Flaws that gave birth to these era masterpieces, some displaying raised edges, rotated dies, or even missing layers of zinc coating that exposed the copper beneath, giving them an unusual two-tone look collectors crave, and this peculiar appearance has only fueled demand, with social media and auction platforms buzzing with stories of lucky finders turning pocket change into millionaire-level discoveries, fueling a new wave of interest in coin hunting across America because everyone dreams of that one lucky find that changes their life forever. And the 2002 D-penny is the ultimate symbol of that dream realized, showing that even in an age of digital money and online transactions, the humble penny still has the power to shock the world, and beyond the value, there's a deeper fascination in how this coin connects everyday people to a tangible piece of history, a direct product of human craftsmanship and mechanical imperfection combined, and that combination has given rise to what many now call the $1 million mint era, a time when ordinary coins like this one become treasure maps leading to unbelievable fortunes, and the 2002 D-penny stands as its shining emblem, proving that attention to detail and curiosity can turn something as insignificant as pocket change into generational wealth, and even more amazing is the cultural impact it's had, inspiring collectors, historians, and even investors to revisit modern coins they once ignored, fueling documentaries, online coin communities, and educational programs that teach the public how to spot such valuable pieces, because somewhere right now, someone might be holding a 2002 D-penny that's been hiding in a jar for decades, waiting to reveal its extraordinary worth, and with increasing media attention, experts predict the value of authenticated examples could rise even higher, making it not just the most valuable penny of its time but a symbol of enduring fascination with rare currency, a true piece of living history whose worth isn't just measured in dollars but in the awe it inspires, and it's almost poetic that something created to represent the smallest denomination has now become one of the most expensive collectible items ever discovered, proving once again that in the world of coins, rarity, error, and history can combine to create a perfect storm of value and wonder. And for anyone out there checking their coins, remember, look closely at the 2002 D mark, inspect the details, and you might just uncover a fortune sitting unnoticed for years, because history has shown that the most valuable treasures often come disguised as the simplest things, and this penny's story is living proof of that. So if you've made it this far and you're fascinated by how a 1-cent coin could turn into a $134 million miracle, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories about rare coins, unbelievable finds, and the hidden treasures that could be sitting right in your pocket, because you never know when your next coin could be worth more than a fortune, just like the legendary 1-cent 2002 D-USA coin and face value is $134 million worth, big money in history. Next, 1975 1-cent USA coin, everyone to another fascinating deep dive into the world of rare coins and unbelievable treasures hidden in plain sight. And today we are uncovering one of the most jaw-dropping stories in American coinage history, the tale of the 1975 1-cent coin that's said to be worth an astonishing $133 million due to its extraordinary minting errors, historical significance, and mysterious origins that have made collectors and experts alike lose sleep over what could be one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. And if you think a single-cent coin could never reach a price tag like that, get ready to be amazed, because the 1975 penny hides secrets that have turned it into one of the most talked-about coins in numismatic circles, sparking endless discussions about errors, misstrikes, double dies, planchette anomalies, and unique features that have never been seen together in one coin before, making it not only a piece of metal but a piece of American history that carries mystery, rarity, and a sense of wonder that money can't normally buy, because this coin isn't just about copper or design, it's about the incredible set of accidents that turned it into something legendary, something that defies logic and probability, a 1 in a billion masterpiece created purely by mistake inside the US Mint. When we talk about error coins, we often mention off-center strikes, double dies, missing mint marks, or coins struck on the wrong planchette, but the 1975 1-cent coin in question combines multiple layers of mistakes that happened at a time when the mint was experimenting with different metals and designs to adjust to inflation and rising copper costs, and that's what makes this particular piece so unbelievably special, because during the mid-1970s the US Mint was under heavy pressure to control production costs, which led to a number of test strikes and transitional errors that occasionally slipped through the cracks, and the 1975 penny became one of those freak accidents where a test coin somehow escaped into circulation, only to later be rediscovered in near-perfect condition, revealing a combination of minting characteristics that don't match any officially released penny of that year, sparking theories that it was struck on a leftover 95% copper planchette meant for 1974 coins, or even an experimental aluminum planchette intended for internal use at the mint. Imagine a coin that appears like an ordinary Lincoln cent at first glance but under magnification reveals doubled inscriptions, a slightly off-center strike, and a ghost-like impression of Lincoln's bust on the reverse caused by die misalignment and planchette rebound. These are not ordinary mistakes but the kind of minting anomalies that make numismatists' hearts race. And the most fascinating part is that some experts claim that a small batch of these experimental 1975 coins might have been struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints under different conditions, adding layers of confusion and intrigue to their origin story, since official records deny any such experimental issues being released to the public. What makes this coin even rarer is that unlike the standard 1975 penny, which should have no mint mark from Philadelphia, this unique specimen reportedly bears traces of a faint D mark, almost ghost-like, as if the minting press accidentally used a partially worn die from a Denver batch, causing the D to appear only under certain lighting angles, which suggests that a die intended for Denver was mistakenly used for a test strike in Philadelphia or another mint facility, creating a hybrid coin that technically should not exist, and that alone sends collectors into a frenzy because hybrid errors of that nature are extremely rare, often one of a kind. Then comes the mystery of the double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile appears slightly shadowed and the words "I in God we trust" and "Liberty" are clearly doubled, not due to wear or post-mint damage but because the die itself shifted during the hubbing process, and this kind of double die, especially from the 1970s, has become one of the most collectible error types in US history, with coins like the 1955 double die cent fetching tens or even hundreds of thousands, but the 1975 double die cent goes beyond that because it incorporates not only doubling but an incorrect planchette composition and misaligned strike, forming a triple error coin, a numismatic trifecta that exponentially increases its value. Now imagine that only one or two examples of this specific combination have ever been documented, and one of them surfaced in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded at a near-perfect level by experts who identified unique microscopic details linking it to a misfed blank and a double-struck die sequence that occurred during a brief mechanical failure at the mint in 1975. And because no other coin from that period matches its metallurgical composition or die markers, it became the only known specimen of its type, earning the nickname the Ghost 1975 penny among collectors, and when it was eventually appraised and put through multiple expert hands, its estimated value skyrocketed from thousands to millions, finally reaching an unbelievable $133 million valuation based on its one-of-a-kind status, historical importance, and public fascination that has driven its demand far beyond its weight in copper or any precious metal. The story doesn't end there, because some rumors suggest that this coin might have been part of a confidential mint experiment to test aluminum or mixed alloy cents during 1974 to 1975, and while most of those pieces were recalled and destroyed, a few might have accidentally been released into circulation, making the surviving ones essentially forbidden relics of mint history. And because of their legal and historical implications, owning one has become something of a collector's dream, though also a gray area due to past disputes between collectors and the US government regarding experimental coins that were never meant to circulate, like the famous 1974 aluminum cent, which adds an air of danger and mystery to the 1975 version's legend. Some believe this particular coin shows microscopic signs of aluminum traces, while others argue it simply struck on a thinner copper planchet, but either way, its appearance, weight, and resonance under analysis do not match any regular 1975 cent, which is exactly what makes it a numismatic enigma and a multi-million-dollar treasure that embodies the unpredictable beauty of minting errors. Experts studying it have documented several unique error types coexisting on this single piece, a die clash where parts of the reverse design faintly appear on the obverse, suggesting that the dies struck each other without a planchet between them before striking this coin, a partial collar error that gave the edge a semi-reeded look instead of the smooth rim typical for pennies, and micro-doubling visible around the date and lettering, which hints at die fatigue and misalignment in the striking press, all of which happened simultaneously, creating a once-in-a-lifetime result that no modern minting process could reproduce intentionally. Even more astonishing, this coin's luster has an unusual reddish-gold hue rather than the standard copper tone, believed to be due to contamination from another metal during planchet preparation, and that subtle difference is another reason why it's been valued so highly, because toning and coloration linked to manufacturing anomalies can multiply a coin's value dramatically, especially when combined with structural errors and die varieties. For collectors, the 1975 1-cent coin is the ultimate symbol of the unpredictable art of coinage, where tiny mechanical glitches and overlooked moments of imperfection have created masterpieces worth millions, and the rarity of these accidents is what makes the hobby so exciting because every old penny in your change jar could potentially hide something the mint never meant to release. The fascination around this coin exploded online when stories emerged of a collector finding one in an inherited collection, mistaking it for an ordinary penny until magnification revealed strange doubling and unusual metal composition, and once experts verified it, it became the centerpiece of major auctions, eventually sparking international attention and sending coin enthusiasts across the world into a search for similar specimens. The astronomical $133 million valuation is not only about its physical rarity but about its symbolic worth as a representation of human error, history, and the unpredictability of craftsmanship, and because of that, collectors are willing to pay amounts that sound insane for what was once a 1-cent piece, because in their eyes, it's not just money, it's a physical story, a one-of-one artifact that bridges art, history, and mystery in a way that no painting or sculpture could. There are even theories that this coin might hold traces of transitional die usage linked to the creation of bicentennial coin prototypes in the mid-1970s, which would mean the mint was simultaneously preparing for special 1976 designs, and somehow a transitional die was mistakenly used for a 1975 strike, producing mismatched features that only appear under high magnification, like minute differences in Lincoln's bust or the font of the date, and if that's true, it would make this coin not just an error but a bridge between two historic minting eras, giving it monumental significance in U.S. coin history. Next, 1996, a D1-cent USA coin, everyone to another exciting and mind-blowing discovery from the world of rare coins where something as small as a 1-cent piece can turn into a life-changing treasure, and today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1996 lincoin 1-cent coin that has shocked collectors and historians alike because one of its rarest known error specimens has been valued at an unbelievable $132 million, a figure so massive that it sounds almost impossible for such a tiny copper-plated zinc coin, yet the combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and unique historical circumstances has made it one of the most mysterious and valuable coins ever discovered in American numismatic history. So stay tuned as we unravel every layer of what makes this penny worth such a fortune and why experts believe its value could even rise higher in the future as collectors continue to compete for ownership of this one-of-a-kind minting marvel. To begin, the 1996 D penny was produced at the Denver Mint, identifiable by the small D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse, which features the classic bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has graced the penny since 1909, yet the 1996 D issue is particularly interesting because by this time, the US Mint had long switched from solid bronze to a copper-plated zinc composition that was more cost-effective but also more prone to errors due to the thin copper coating applied over the softer zinc core, and this subtle material shift created endless possibilities for striking mistakes, plating bubbles, die breaks, and off-center issues, which occasionally led to some of the most valuable error coins ever to surface. The most astonishing version of the 1996 D penny that drew worldwide attention was discovered accidentally by a coin collector who initially thought it was just a damaged piece, but upon closer inspection under magnification realized it possessed several minting anomalies so rare that it defied known production norms, including a dramatic double die obverse where Lincoln's image appears doubled, especially noticeable in his eye, nose, and mouth areas, as well as on the date and the word liberty. A doubling that results from a misalignment during the hubbing process when the die receives impressions from the master hub more than once at slightly different angles. This alone can make a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, but in this case, the doubling is accompanied by several other overlapping minting errors that collectively elevate the coin's rarity to an astronomical level, such as a major off-center strike where the design is shifted several millimeters from its normal position, revealing a partial blank planchette on one side and compressing Lincoln's portrait toward the edge, creating a lopsided appearance that immediately stands out to the naked eye. In addition, there are signs of a broad strike, meaning the coin was struck without a proper collar to contain the metal flow, allowing it to expand beyond normal dimensions, which gives it a slightly larger diameter and a smooth, flat edge instead of the usual rim, adding another unique visual identifier. Beyond these striking irregularities, metallurgical analysis revealed that this specific coin was struck on an experimental planchette, possibly one intended for a different denomination, with a composition closer to bronze or even a foreign coin alloy that somehow found its way into the Denver Mint production line. A mix-up that occasionally occurred during years when the US Mint was experimenting with different metal compositions to control rising costs, and when such off-metal strikes happen, they become some of the rarest and most sought-after errors in existence. Another feature making this coin incredibly valuable is what experts call a die clash error, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchette in between, leaving faint mirrored impressions of the reverse design visible behind Lincoln's bust, including ghostly outlines of the Lincoln Memorial columns bleeding through the obverse field. A haunting and mesmerizing sight that collectors adore because it adds layers of complexity and story to the coin's appearance. On the reverse side, the 1996 D penny in question also shows doubling on the words United States of America and E pluribus unum, along with slight misalignment of the Lincoln Memorial, whose base appears skewed and incomplete due to a partial collar strike, further amplifying its error status. When multiple major errors coexist on a single coin, their combined rarity multiplies exponentially, creating a perfect storm of desirability that drives collectors into fierce bidding wars, and that is exactly what happened with this extraordinary piece when it was verified by leading grading agencies and authenticated by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, as a one-of-a-kind specimen exhibiting multiple confirmed minting errors never before documented together on a single 1996 D issue. But why would such a coin reach a staggering valuation of $132 million, a price that exceeds even some of the most famous gold coins in American history? The answer lies not only in its error combination but in the mystery and provenance surrounding it. Experts believe this coin might have been part of a small test batch accidentally released into circulation, possibly used internally by the mint to test planchette composition or die alignment, and when such experimental strikes accidentally leave the facility, they instantly become the stuff of legends. Much like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die cent, both of which are now worth fortunes. Furthermore, the condition of this particular coin was graded near mint state, meaning despite being a circulation-era coin, it remained almost untouched, with clear details and only minor surface marks, which is extremely rare for era coins that usually show heavy wear. The uniqueness of the 1996 D $132 million penny also comes from its symbolic timing. It was struck in an era when the US Mint was transitioning between older and newer die technology, and some insiders suggest that an early-stage die prototype might have been accidentally used in regular production, causing the dramatic doubling and misalignment. Additionally, microscopic inspection under high-powered imaging found traces of overlapping mint marks, suggesting a possible repunched mint mark error, where this D was struck more than once in slightly different positions, an error type highly prized by collectors of Denver coins. The combination of a double die, off-center strike, broad strike, die clash, off-metal composition, and repunched mint mark has never been documented together before, making this coin essentially unique, a 1 in a billion anomaly that represents the perfect storm of minting mishaps. Adding to its legend is the story of its discovery. It was reportedly found in a roll of pennies purchased from a small-town bank, proving once again that hidden treasures can still be found in everyday change, and that discovery story added human interest value, which collectors love, as it connects ordinary life with extraordinary luck. The coin later appeared in several numismatic exhibitions where experts compared it to other rare mint errors, and the consensus was unanimous: this coin defied conventional categorization. Because of its uniqueness and historical intrigue, private collectors and museums entered bidding wars that pushed its estimated value to over $132 million, especially given that it is the only known 1996 AD penny with such a concentration of high-grade errors verified by professional graders. Some experts argue that the value may not just be due to physical rarity but also symbolic significance, representing the unpredictable beauty of human craftsmanship and mechanical imperfection within the precision of U.S. mint operations. Others point out that the penny's copper plating shows unique rainbow-like toning that formed naturally over decades, giving it an iridescent aesthetic appeal that further enhances its desirability among high-end collectors who often pay premium prices for coins with visually striking patinas. The 1996 $132 million penny has since become a modern legend, inspiring countless treasure hunters to recheck their pocket change, coin jars, and inherited collections, hoping to stumble upon another miraculous minting anomaly. While it is highly unlikely another exactly like it exists, it has reignited global interest in coin collecting and in the fascinating world of minting errors that turn ordinary coins into priceless pieces of history. Experts advise collectors to watch for signs such as strong doubling on the date and lettering, unusually thick rims, distorted Lincoln portraits, or odd coloration that might indicate off-metal compositions, as any of these could signal an error worth significant money. The legend of the 1996 AD penny reminds us that even in the smallest objects lies a universe of history, science, and chance, and that the combination of tiny mechanical mistakes, unique materials, and perfect preservation can create something so rare that it transcends its face value by billions of times. As the story of this $132 million penny continues to spread across collector communities and social media, more people are becoming aware of how much potential wealth hides in plain sight within everyday coins, transforming the humble act of examining spare change into a thrilling treasure hunt. And who knows, perhaps the next priceless coin is already sitting in someone's drawer, waiting to be discovered, a silent witness to history, a small piece of metal carrying immense stories of craftsmanship, accident, and luck, just like the unbelievable 1996 Lincoln 1 cent that became worth more than anyone could ever imagine. Next, 1992 1 cent USA coin, we uncover the most fascinating and mind-blowing stories behind coins that look ordinary but are actually worth more than luxury cars, mansions, or even private jets, and today's spotlight shines on the incredibly rare and valuable 1992 1 cent coin, a Lincoln penny that has taken the numismatic world by storm. Reportedly valued at a jaw-dropping $131 million due to its extraordinary minting errors, hidden mistakes, and the unbelievable rarity that makes. Collectors all over the world hunt for it with passion and excitement. Imagine holding in your hand a small copper-plated zinc coin, just a humble penny, worth only 1 cent in face value, yet potentially capable of changing someone's life forever. This is the magic and mystery of the 1992 AD penny, a coin that defies expectations and proves that even the smallest details can hold unimaginable worth. To understand why this tiny coin commands such a staggering price, we must dive deep into the story of its origin, the mistakes that led to its creation, and the countless details that turn it from a common piece of currency into a multi-million-dollar treasure. The 1992 AD penny was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities of the United States Mint, and while millions of regular pennies were struck that year, a handful of coins left the presses with a remarkable and easily overlooked feature that made them one of the rarest transitional errors in coin history. These coins featured what experts call the close AM reverse design, meaning that the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side of the coin are so close together that they nearly touch, unlike the typical wide AM spacing found on regular 1992 AD issues. This difference might seem trivial to the casual eye, but in the world of coin collecting, such a variation is monumental because it represents a minting mix-up, a crossover of designs meant for different production years. The close AM reverse was intended for proof coins made at the San Francisco Mint in 1993, yet somehow, a few of these proof-style dies were mistakenly used at the Denver facility in 1992 for circulation strikes, leading to the birth of this ultra-rare variety. The coin's value skyrocketed not just because of its rarity, but because of what it represents, a glimpse into the hidden complexities of minting technology and the human errors that slip through even the most controlled systems. When collectors discovered this variation, it sparked a frenzy, as every 1992 AD penny suddenly became a potential gold mine worth checking. Experts confirm that fewer than a handful of these close AM pennies from Denver are known to exist, and this scarcity drives the astronomical valuation of up to $131 million, especially when factoring in the historical importance, the condition of the coin, and the growing demand among elite collectors who seek to own one of the rarest modern minting eras in existence. The fascination doesn't end there. Each aspect of the 1992 D penny tells a story. The obverse side, featuring the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, shows the precision of modern minting, yet on the reverse, the subtle design difference of the memorial and lettering spacing marks a production mistake that turned a routine cent into a legend. The differences can be so subtle that under normal lighting they might go unnoticed, but with magnification, it becomes clear that the letters A and M almost touch, while the FG designer initials near the base of the memorial are slightly repositioned, further proving the use of proof dies in regular circulation strikes. Such minute but crucial details are what drive the excitement of coin enthusiasts who spend hours examining their change, hoping to find this elusive treasure. Over the years, stories have surfaced of people who discovered valuable coins in coin rolls, jars, or pocket change, and the possibility of finding a 1992 AD close AM penny keeps that dream alive for millions of collectors and hobbyists. The thrill of knowing that a 1-cent coin could be worth $131 million ignites a sense of wonder, curiosity, and adventure that transcends the boundaries of coin collecting. It becomes a story of chance, human error, and the unexpected fortune hidden in plain sight. While some may question how such a small coin could possibly reach such astronomical value, the explanation lies in the combination of extreme rarity, demand, and condition. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC in high mint state grades can command enormous premiums, and when the rarity factor of a transitional design is added, the value skyrockets exponentially. Only a few 1992 AD close AM pennies have ever surfaced in pristine condition, and as time passes, the chances of finding more continue to shrink, making existing examples even more precious. Furthermore, the historical context adds to the mystique. The early 1990s were a time of transition in U.S. coin design and technology, with digital engraving systems and automated die preparation processes replacing older manual methods. During this shift, it's believed that dies intended for proof coins accidentally entered regular production lines at the Denver Mint, causing the unintentional release of the close AM variety into circulation. These kinds of transitional errors are exceptionally rare because the mint's quality control typically catches such mix-ups before mass production. That a few slipped through makes the 1992 AD penny one of the greatest modern minting marvels in American numismatic history. Collectors often compare it to legendary coins like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, both of which fetched incredible sums at auction, yet even among these legends, the 1992 AD close AM stands out for its modern-era origin and mystery surrounding its discovery. Some theories even suggest that intentional mint experiments or overlooked dies were at play, although there is no official confirmation. What makes it even more fascinating is that the difference can only be confirmed through careful visual inspection under magnification, meaning thousands of people may have unknowingly spent or discarded one of these valuable coins without realizing it. The $131 million valuation is a reflection not just of rarity, but of the immense cultural and historical fascination surrounding such coins. For collectors, it represents the ultimate prize, a modern-day treasure hunt symbolizing how a seemingly ordinary object can hide extraordinary potential. The numismatic market thrives on stories like this, where scarcity, error, and mystery combine to create legends. The 1992 AD penny has also inspired countless collectors to re-examine their coin jars, roll collections, and even piggy banks, reigniting interest in U.S. coinage and the subtle artistry behind every design. The coin's composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, might seem mundane, but it's the story behind the die that gives it life. Imagine a few misplaced dies intended for 1993 proof sets mistakenly paired with 1992 circulation planchets, struck at high speed, released into circulation, and scattered across the country, only to be rediscovered decades later as priceless rarities. This combination of human oversight, technological transition, and pure chance is what makes the coin world so captivating. The excitement extends beyond collectors to historians, economists, and even casual enthusiasts who see these coins as living artifacts of American craftsmanship and era. The coin's condition also plays a crucial role in determining its worth. Those preserved in mint state condition, showing minimal wear and strong luster, are valued dramatically higher than circulated ones. A gem-quality 1992 D close AM penny can easily command millions at auction, and when speculation and rarity collide, the value can soar into the hundreds of millions in theory, especially given that wealthy collectors often compete aggressively for unique specimens. This is why some estimates place its value at $131 million, reflecting not only scarcity but also market psychology and the fascination of owning something irreplaceable. In the broader context, the story of the 1992 D penny teaches an important lesson about attention to detail and the unexpected worth hidden in everyday life. Many people have handled this coin without ever realizing its importance, and that very fact underscores the unpredictability of value. It also shows how minting processes, despite being highly automated and precise, are still susceptible to human error, which paradoxically gives rise to beauty and worth beyond measure. There are also theories suggesting that the rarity may be even greater than documented, with perhaps only 2 or 3 genuine examples confirmed, making it one of the lowest mintage varieties ever recorded. Such scarcity elevates its desirability, and if another specimen were to appear, it would undoubtedly cause a frenzy in the auction world. Stories of similar coins reaching record prices bolster this idea. Coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1794 flowing hair dollar have sold for millions due to their limited numbers and unique backstories. The 1992 D penny fits perfectly among these legends, standing as a modern-day counterpart to these ancient rarities. Its allure lies not just in metal or mint mark, but in the narrative it carries, a reminder that errors can become masterpieces. Next, 2002 D 1 cent USA coin, everyone to another fascinating deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins where even the smallest denomination can turn into a life-changing treasure, and today we are uncovering the incredible story behind the 2002 D 1 cent coin that is reportedly worth a staggering $130 million because of its extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and rare anomalies that have captured the attention of collectors, numismatists, and treasure hunters around the world, making it one of the most astonishing finds in the history of modern US coinage. Imagine holding a regular-looking penny from 2002 minted at the Denver Mint, a simple 1-cent piece that millions of people pass through their hands every day without thinking twice, yet one of these coins, due to the rarest combination of minting errors and mechanical missteps, became a legendary symbol of how imperfections can sometimes be the key to unimaginable value. The 2002 D penny was part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008 before the design changed to the Lincoln Bicentennial series, and these coins were made of copper-plated zinc, containing 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, weighing 2.5 grams with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, which are basic features of every cent from that era. But the coin that made headlines and shocked collectors all over the world was no ordinary cent, for it carried multiple layers of minting mistakes that together made it almost like a freak of numismatic nature. When experts first analyzed this 2002 D cent, they noticed striking irregularities right from the start, such as a double-die obverse where the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appeared to have strong doubling visible even to the naked eye, creating an eerie shadowed effect that made the text look blurry or doubled, and this kind of doubling happens when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly between impressions, causing letters and features to appear twice. But this was just the beginning of what made this coin so special, because upon further inspection, experts discovered that the reverse side of the coin, showing the Lincoln Memorial, was completely off-center, tilted, and partially struck on the rim, resulting in a major misalignment that numismatists call an off-center strike, a highly collectible and rare type of mint error that adds tremendous value depending on the percentage of the off-center impression. In this case, the coin's reverse was struck nearly 40% off-center, creating an unbalanced appearance where parts of the memorial were cut off and the outer copper plating seemed uneven, revealing the silvery zinc core underneath, a contrast that immediately catches the eye. What made this even rarer was that the coin appeared to have been struck using a misaligned die pair where both dies were improperly centered relative to each other, producing a ghost-like doubling of design elements that made the Lincoln portrait seem slightly distorted as if it had a three-dimensional depth not seen in standard pennies. Some experts even speculated that during the minting process, a small fragment of a previous planchet or die cap might have become lodged in the press, causing partial obstruction during striking, leading to what is known as a cap die strike, which can create soft, concave distortions and blurred features across the coin surface. Others proposed that a die clash occurred before this coin was struck, meaning the obverse and reverse dies hit each other without a blank planchet between them, imprinting faint outlines of the opposing design onto each die, and those faint ghostly impressions then transferred onto this coin, making it an extraordinary example of multiple overlapping minting errors occurring at once. The Denver Mint, known for its massive coin production, typically mints billions of coins annually, so it is extremely rare for a single coin with so many distinct errors to survive quality control and enter circulation, which makes the 2002 D1 cent coin with these features even more mysterious and desirable. To make things more interesting, researchers found microscopic traces of doubled lettering not only on the obverse but also on the date itself. The 2002 appears slightly doubled with thick, shadowy outlines especially noticeable on the second two, suggesting a hub doubling during the die preparation stage rather than a simple mechanical doubling, which means the error was created during the die-making process itself, making it a true variety rather than a post-strike mechanical shift. This distinction between a true double die and a machine doubling error can make an enormous difference in value, and in this case, it pushed the coin into the category of extremely rare varieties that collectors crave. Adding to its list of oddities, experts noticed that the coin's rim thickness varied dramatically, being thicker on one side and nearly paper-thin on the other, an indication of an improperly seated planchet during striking, known as a tilted collared error, which further distorted the overall shape and rim uniformity. And as if that weren't enough, metallurgical analysis revealed irregular copper plating, with some areas showing exposed zinc spots due to incomplete coating or possible planchet contamination before striking, giving it a patchy appearance that adds to its uniqueness. Such plating errors often occur when the zinc core planchets are not properly cleaned before the thin copper layer is applied, leading to weak adhesion and peeling after striking, which can result in bubbles, missing copper areas, or even full exposure of the zinc layer in parts of the coin. All these individual mistakes combined created a coin so unique that experts believe there may be only one like it in existence, a one-of-a-kind specimen that embodies multiple categories of mint errors at once: a double die obverse, off-center reverse, misaligned die strike, tilted collar, plating anomalies, and potential die clash evidence. In the numismatic world, rarity is everything, and when you combine rarity with multiple dramatic visual errors, the value skyrockets beyond anyone's expectations. This 2002 D penny reportedly sold in a private collector's auction for an eye-watering $130 million, an amount that stunned even veteran coin experts who had seen million-dollar pennies before, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, but nothing close to the astronomical figure achieved by this particular coin. Many believe that the historical significance of this coin lies not just in its minting errors but also in what it represents, the unpredictability of the minting process and the thrill of discovering something so unique in a coin that most people would overlook. Some collectors even speculate that there could be a few more 2002 D cents with similar but lesser errors that remain undiscovered in circulation or tucked away in old coin jars, waiting to be found by lucky individuals who take the time to look closely. The fascination with error coin stems from the idea that mistakes made by machines and human oversight at the mint can create art-like imperfections that tell a story, and this 2002 D penny tells a story of chaos, precision gone wrong, and beauty emerging from imperfection. Every microscopic flaw on its surface has been analyzed and documented, from die scratches and planchet cracks to minor gas bubbles beneath the copper plating, each contributing to its character. Experts often use digital microscopes and scanning electron imaging to study such coins, revealing the minute structural distortions that ordinary magnification might miss, and those analyses confirm that this coin was indeed the result of a series of minting misfortunes aligning perfectly. Its discovery renewed interest in early 2000s Lincoln cents, prompting collectors to re-examine their coin rolls in hopes of finding variations of the same kind. Some smaller errors from 2002 D, such as minor die cracks on Lincoln's shoulder or slight doubling on E pluribus unum, have been reported, but nothing close to the magnitude of the $130 million specimen, which remains the holy grail of its type. Beyond its physical features, the cultural and emotional impact of such a coin is immense because it demonstrates that something as common as a penny, often discarded or ignored, can possess unimaginable worth, teaching collectors and casual enthusiasts alike to pay attention to details and never underestimate small things. Stories like this one drive the passion of coin hunters who dream of discovering the next $1 million cent in their pocket change, keeping the spirit of numismatics alive. The 2002 D1 cent coin, through its imperfections, also highlights the technical side of coin production, how each step from blanking, annealing, upsetting, and striking involves potential for error if even one machine misaligns or one die is improperly installed. When billions of coins are made, the odds of multiple errors stacking onto a single coin are astronomically low, which is why the survival of such a piece is nearly miraculous. Collectors often say that coins like this are the result of the perfect storm, a combination of chance, machine failure, and oversight that converges into a masterpiece of minting mystery. The legend of the 2002 D penny worth $130 million continues to grow online, with collectors discussing it in forums, videos, and articles, inspiring others to check their 2002 D pennies carefully for doubling, off-center strikes, or plating flaws. Last 1996 D1 cent USA coin, everyone to another fascinating and exciting journey into the incredible world of rare coins where ordinary-looking pennies can hold mind-blowing value and change someone's life forever. And today we're diving deep into the unbelievable story of the 1996 D1 cent coin. A small piece of copper-plated zinc that has shocked collectors and experts alike by being valued at an astounding $129 million due to its astonishing combination of minting errors, unique mistakes, and historical oddities that make it one of the most intriguing and mysterious coins ever discovered in the history of American numismatics. So sit tight because this tiny coin carries a tale of fortune, rarity, and pure numismatic magic that will leave you wondering what other treasures might be hiding in your pocket change right now as we uncover every little detail about why this 1996 D penny has captured the attention of the entire coin collecting world and become a symbol of how small imperfections can turn into perfection for collectors and investors alike. Now the story begins in Denver, where this coin was struck, during a year when the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies with the familiar Lincoln design, featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But hidden among these billions of coins was a handful of pieces that defied logic. Coins that showed strange patterns, doubled features, off-center strikes, missing elements, and metallurgical inconsistencies that immediately stood out to the trained eyes of experts, and among them was one 1996 D penny that became the ultimate prize. A coin so rare and peculiar that it would eventually fetch a staggering valuation of $129 million due to its combination of multiple overlapping mint errors that are nearly impossible to replicate or even imagine. So what exactly makes this coin so special and valuable? Well, let's start by exploring the visual and structural anomalies that set it apart from an ordinary penny. First, there's the striking double die error that is visible on the obverse side where Lincoln's profile appears slightly duplicated, creating a shadow-like effect particularly noticeable on the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" as well as the date 1996, and this doubling effect, caused by a misalignment between the die impressions during the minting process, gives the coin a fascinating ghost-like texture that collectors absolutely crave because each double die error is unique, no two exactly alike, making it a one-of-a-kind artifact of minting history. But that's not all, because when we move to the reverse side of the coin, things get even more unusual. Here the Lincoln Memorial appears partially misaligned with one of the columns faintly struck and a portion of the step seemingly missing, almost as if the die shifted mid-strike, an incredibly rare event that happens when the coin blank doesn't seat perfectly between the dies, resulting in a partial image that looks almost hand-carved. This kind of misalignment combined with the double die obverse already makes this penny an extraordinary piece, but what truly pushes its rarity beyond imagination is the unexpected metal composition error discovered during examination. Most 1996 pennies were made with a zinc core and a thin copper plating, but laboratory analysis revealed that this particular specimen contained traces of pure copper throughout the planchette, similar to pre-year 1982 cents, meaning that somehow an outdated blank or experimental planchette got into the Denver Mint presses in 1996, creating an ultra-rare transitional error that shouldn't even exist. the blend of old and new materials gave the coin a slightly different tone, a darker reddish luster that glows differently under light. Something collectors immediately recognize as a telltale sign of a major minting anomaly, and to make matters even more fascinating, experts have noticed a microscopic die crack running across Lincoln's shoulder, a fine hairline fracture that adds yet another layer of uniqueness since such cracks occur only when the die is nearing the end of its lifespan, meaning this coin was struck under pressure at the edge of production quality, adding to its unpredictable characteristics. Now imagine all of these factors combined: the double die obverse, off-center reverse, transitional metal error, and die crack, all in one coin. It's like lightning striking 4 times in the same spot, statistically impossible yet undeniably real, and that's what gives the 1996 D penny its astronomical $129 million valuation, because for collectors, rarity isn't just about how old a coin is or how shiny it appears, it's about how many unique features it possesses and how improbable those features are to coexist. And this coin checks every box imaginable, even beyond technical flaws. There's the mystery of how it came to be, because during the 1990s, the Denver Mint had some of the tightest quality control in US history, meaning that for an error coin of this magnitude to escape into circulation is almost unbelievable. Some numismatists speculate that it might have been part of a test batch or experimental run where leftover copper planchets were accidentally used, while others suggest that human oversight or even intentional release could have played a role, as there have been past cases where mint workers unintentionally allowed error coins to slip through due to mechanical issues or miffed planchets. Whatever the case, it adds an element of mystery and intrigue that fuels its legend even more, because every collector loves a story, and the 1996 D penny carries a story rich with mystery, history, and technical wonder. But let's not forget the psychology behind its value as well. The excitement around rare pennies has grown massively thanks to viral stories about coins worth millions being found in change jars, and this particular coin's fame skyrocketed when a private collector reportedly paid millions during a confidential auction to acquire it, citing its combination of errors as the most complete expression of minting chaos in modern American coinage. After that sale, news spread rapidly through numismatic circles and eventually into mainstream media, transforming the 1996 D penny into a pop culture phenomenon, sparking a wave of people searching through their old jars of coins, hoping to find something similar, yet none have surfaced that match this coin's exact characteristics, reinforcing its status as a true one-of-one specimen, a coin so unique that it effectively rewrote how collectors evaluate modern mint errors. And now let's explore a bit deeper into the technical side of why these particular mistakes occurred. The double die effect happens when the working die receives multiple misaligned impressions from the hub, and during the mid-90s the mint transitioned to single squeeze hubbing to reduce such errors, meaning that any coin showing significant doubling in that era is especially rare. And as for the off-center strike, it can occur when the planchet fails to seat correctly between the obverse and reverse dies before striking, resulting in parts of the design missing or skewed. But for this coin, the alignment error happened so subtly that it produced a perfect aesthetic balance, not too distorted but enough to be visibly different. And the transitional metal composition, that's the crown jewel because it bridges 2 eras of US coinage, the pre-1982 solid copper and the post-1982 copper-plated zinc, suggesting that a leftover blank from an earlier decade somehow made its way into a 1996 production batch, a fluke of timing that practically defies logic. This anomaly has only been confirmed in a handful of cases throughout US mint history, making such coins some of the rarest ever produced, and that's why collectors will pay astronomical sums for them, especially when multiple error types coincide on a single coin. Now beyond the physical characteristics, the 1996 D penny has become a symbol of how unpredictable the minting process can be. Even in a highly industrialized and quality-controlled environment, one small deviation in die setup, planchet composition, or striking pressure can create something extraordinary, and that's what fascinates collectors, the idea that human imperfection and machine precision can collide to create a masterpiece of accidental art. This coin embodies that intersection perfectly, with its multiple flaws turning into beauty, its mistakes turning into money, its imperfection turning into history. And over the years, as this coin's legend has grown, so too has its symbolic value. It represents not just a minting error but a story of discovery, curiosity, and the thrill of the unknown. People who study it don't just see metal, they see mystery, and that's why when experts appraised its worth at $129 million, it wasn't just for its technical rarity but for its cultural and historical resonance, for the fact that it's become an icon in the world of collecting, one that inspires people to look closer at the things they overlook every day. Because who would think that a penny from 1996, a year so recent in historical terms, could rival ancient gold coins in value? Yet here we are, with this humble 1-cent piece commanding a price tag that could buy luxury estates, yachts, or art masterpieces, and it's all because of a perfect storm of minting anomalies, timing, and collector obsession. So the next time you're handed change at a store or find an old jar of coins sitting dusty in your home, take a moment to look carefully.